Yes! Alrighty! What's up, everybody? It is I, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Tuesday evening video. Right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 66. Oh, the Nick fans suck so bad. Nah. And as always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video. Hit the subscribe button down below in my pants. Otherwise known as the description box below, where you can subscribe to my channels. All down below, like I said, in the gobbledygook. You can leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos on my respective channels from the past, now, and later in the future, Conan. But don't leave stupid comments. You will get sent to the Shadow Realm, beaten severely with who knows what, and then Ozzy and Satan will come out, laugh at you, and then eat your soul. So don't do it. You want to do it? Go to your stupid channel and do it. You ain't gonna do it on mine. You don't like that? That's tough shit, bitch. Cry for me. And that's that. Share the video all over the internet. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't forget to tap and slap that bell, turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. You miss anything, that's on you. You, of course, you stupid fuck, you are SOL, and you better know what that means. And if you don't know, well, that's too bad. Too bad for you. And that's that. Alright, so like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, and all the good stuff. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, you grab yourself a nice, tasty cold one. This is different. No, not soda, not a mixed drink. This is Dunkin' Refreshers. The missus got me some Dunkin' Refreshers. Basically powder of different flavors. We're gonna try it out. This is, actually mango pineapple from Dunkin'. Tastes good. Actually pretty good. I got kiwi. What I got? I don't have the box. I got kiwi I got kiwi. I think I got kiwi strawberry, and then I got strawberry dragon fruit, and I think I got another flavor. So I got 4 flavors. So we got that. You know, so the missus is gonna have hers later. I'm just gonna have one for now. Might have some soda later for my din-din. And then, that's it. But, you know, something new. Something new I'm trying out. So, tastes pretty good. From Dunkin'. Not Duncan Hines, but Dunkin'. Dunkin'. Because everything runs on Dunkin'. Most of the time. But, alright, ladies and gentlemen. Grab yourself a nice tasty cold one. Put your feet up and enjoy the show. If you haven't already done that. But if you're new here, welcome. Glad to have you. How's that? Alright, ladies and gentlemen. It's a special day today. It's 6/9. It's It's June the 9th, 2026. On your Tuesday evening, we got NXT coming up at the top of the hour. But, like I said, it is that special day. 6/9. One of my favorite numbers. Next to 666, of course. The number of the beast. Or 669, which is most of my channels' last 3 digits, but it is what it is. But happy 6/9 to you bastards who liked it, I guess. I don't know. You know, it is what it is. A good number. Good position, too. But I digress. But I hope you had a great day. A little bit warmer here in the Northeast. It's going to be a little bit hot tomorrow and a little bit humid. Some thunder tomorrow. Not too much, but might rain on your parade tomorrow if you're going to those stupid Nick watch-alongs, the watch parties, which, Let me just say something about Nick fans. You have to be the most stupid fucking fan base in the NBA, if not the entire sports league. Of all and you thought Yankee fans were this bad. The Yankee fans can get wild, but Nick fans, what is wrong with you? All these stupid fucking teenagers or, you know, a little bit older, 20, 30-year-olds, you don't see guys like me going out and beating the fuck out of everybody else. And they're just mad because the Knicks lost. Even though, yeah, the refs fucked them up, yeah, but they did the same thing to the Spurs, but the Spurs were just a better team last night. So, but the Knicks, you know, they're up 2-1. Game 4 tomorrow. well, for you Knicks fans, Donald Trump won't be there, so not that it will matter anyway, but this might be a series. If San Antonio wins tomorrow, this might go 6, possibly 7. I'm hoping it goes at least 6, but we'll see. But we'll see. So, San Antonio has life. We'll see what happens tomorrow night at the Garden, the mecca of all sports arenas, with those fucking dumb fans. We'll see what happens in Game 4 if the Knicks can, stop making some dumb and costly turnovers near the end of that game. Brunson, one of them. Oh, that was a bad one. But I'll tell you the truth, and I'm saying this as a sports fan, Wemby got away with one. He got away with one early in the first half when he just, took Brunson, threw him down. Right in front of the referee. The referee's like, I didn't see nothing. There's a few calls the referees made that were just, what? And then they're like, well, let him play. Let him play. I mean, that's good, but, there's a war zone out there. Like, shit. People are going to get hurt, seriously hurt. Brunson almost got hurt, too. He hurt his back. And then Wemby got fouled on a three-pointer. And then he fell to the ground, hurt his back. I'm like, oy, oy, oy. It was war last night at the Garden. But the Spurs came out with the win, and, well, now, still in the Knicks' favor, because I got the home court advantage, but now, San Antonio's going back for Game 5, either going to be 2-2, or could be 3-1, and the Knicks, could go into San Antonio and win a title in San Antonio, not in New York, but we'll see what happens with that tomorrow. So we got that. Mets back in action tonight against the Cardinals. See what happens with that. Coming off a 3-3 road trip. Not bad. Take 2 or 3 from the garbage Padres. So we'll see what happens tonight with the Mets. They got a big week. Got St. Louis we got St. Louis and Atlanta. Then going on the road again, come back again. Oy. So, lots of big games for the Mets coming up in June. Big, huge games. And Alvarez is back. I don't know how he came back from a messed up meniscus. Figure that one out. Maybe he's on steroids. I don't know. But how do you come back from that type of injury in a span of a month? That boggles my mind. And Lindor might be coming back, probably after the All-Star break. Who knows? But that's that. Alright, enough about that. Boo, funky. Because you don't want to hear sports really. You want to hear me talk. Most of you people love that, but I'm not going to give it to you. Not like that, but you know what I mean. But your girlfriends and your moms could do it like that, but that's another story for another time. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, on your 6-9, or on your Wednesday evening, June the 9th, 2026, like I said, we got NXT coming up in a little bit. Should be a good show. Mason Rook taking on Evil, or Naruku, tomato, for the number 1 contendership to my cousin Tony D's title. So we got Evo versus a guy that'll body slam your dad. We got that. We got Tatum Paxley taking on Delta for the NXT Women's North American Championship. I think we're going to get a title change. Probably. We'll see what happens with that. And a whole lot more on your 2-hour Cure for Insomnia on the CW11. That's NXT. We got that. Also today, holy shit, Jada Parker invaded Natty's dungeon. Not like that dungeon, you know what I mean. But there was a video on, I think, Natalia's Twitter machine, and of her doing it. She's teaching her students, and then out of nowhere, Jada Parker comes in and invades the dungeon, and they basically beat the crap out of each other. So I don't know what's gonna happen tonight, but it might be intense. I smell an NXT Underground match between those two, and Natty's obviously gonna win that because Jada is not, trained in the MMA, but she's gonna get her butt kicked. I'm just saying that right now, Jada. I think you messed with the wrong person. But yeah, that's pretty much it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. After almost 10 minutes of spiel, which you clipped anyway, because you've got nothing else to do with your garbage fucking life. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, really quickly, let's get to your Monday Monday Night Raw review for this past Monday, yesterday, June the 8th, 2026, and we are emanating from the Accor Arena in Paris! Paris, the land of France. Alright, so in Paris, France for, the final stop on the European tour, even though in a couple weeks we're going back overseas, we're going to London, and then eventually we're going to the land of sand, that's Saudi Arabia for SmackDown, Night of Champions, I think Raw, but we'll see what happens with that, to end the month of June and begin July. So, and that's the big weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Night of Champions, then we got, on that Sunday the 28th, TNA Slammiversary, going into NXT Great American Bash, going against AEW Forbidden Door. Woo! What a weekend that is, ladies and gentlemen. What a weekend. And it was announced that Money in the Bank got moved to October in New Orleans, Louisiana. Why? Well, I assume because of Triple Mania on September 11th and the 13th. You know, you could have just put Money in the Bank at the end of September. But, pretty much going head-to-head with Sunday Night Football or college football on Saturday night. Maybe it was a good thing. Maybe it wasn't. I don't know the real reason. Nor do I care. But, Money in the Bank now in October. So, coming off SummerSlam, we got nothing in September. We do have I heard on Raw, we do have a Sunday night's main event coming up, not Saturday night. Sunday night coming up in, right around that time. Around September, I think. I forgot, I gotta read. I gotta look back at I gotta look back at Raw because I know it's Sunday, I forgot not where, but when. It's gonna be in Atlanta, GA. So, that's gonna be nice. And we'll move on with that. Alright, so, once again, we are from the Accor Arena in Paris, France, and our commentary team, as always on Monday Night Raw, the legendary Michael Cole and Corey Slave. Alright, we got that. Alright, we're still going on with the King of the Ring tournament. A few more first-round matches. Gonna get to the semis pretty soon. We got more on SmackDown this week. So we got that. So take that back. So, I forgot what I'm talking. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry, but I digress. Anyway, so there were some surprises on Raw last night. Not so much for the women, but for the men, which was the main event. We'll get into that in a minute. But we started off the show with a recap of last week's King of the Ring matches, where we had Oba, Dom go on to the semifinals. And that's on the women's side. We know Io's in, Raquel Rodriguez. So we got that. So we got a few more first round matches to get through this week, and then next week we begin the semifinals, and then we'll know the finals for the Queen and King of the Ring. We got that. But first we saw I can't talk. I'm sorry. But first, ladies and gentlemen, after that, we start the show off properly with Oba! Who? Debbie, the Ruga from Wakanda. Just strut, guys. Fans went nuts. They feel like he's the freaking hometown hero. So Oba comes out. Finally, he gets to talk. After fans, it felt like 5-10 minutes. They were like, Oba! And then chanting something in French. I don't know a lot of French. Oui, Pepe Le Pew. Stuff like that. He thanks the fans for their appreciation. Then he moves on to, my name is Paul Heyman, the Walrus. And he's like, well, me and Paul, we don't agree on much, but we do believe in spoilers. So, he doesn't have a prediction. I got a spoiler for you, and that's me going to run through the King of the Ring tournament, and then win the tournament, and basically win the tournament and become the King of the Ring, and then you know what happens after that. probably be facing Mr. Roman Reigns. Or will Roman face Seth? Well, we'll talk about that in the main event. We got that. So Omos says, I need a crown to be the ruler, but there is another trophy I want, and that's Brock Lesnar's head on a silver platter. Damn. So he talks about Brock cheating to beat him at the last pay-per-view at Backlash, and then pretty much is gone. We haven't seen him since Backlash. And then Paul Heyman refers to Brock as the big bad beast, but Omos says, hey Brock, you're just a big bad bitch. Damn. And he tells Brock, when you come back, we will settle this. We'll settle the score, because it's 1-1. And then out of nowhere, Dominic Guerrero, let's say, Omos' semifinal opponent, he comes out and the fans boo him out the building. Dom, I think you should stay in the back. It's Eddie's son. Eddie, you think that was a good idea for your son to go out there? I can't control my son, Essie, pero he does what he does. I don't think it was a great idea myself. I would have went out there anyway. Okay. Anyway, so Dom says that he's a 20-year veteran? How could Dom be a 20-year veteran? I don't know about that, Dom. But anyway, he wants Oba to bend the knee. Bend the knee and respect the stash. He's got a pretty damn good stash. One of the best in the business. I had a great stash. You had a great hair, too. Well, I had a great mother back then. My son has the same thing. Because he looks up to you. That's the fruit of your loins. Well, I can't say anything bad. Okay. Me and Angie, we went at it, and Dom comes out. Okay. I didn't need to know, but thank you. Anyway. So he's, talking to Oba, and I'm like, yeah, I know somebody's gonna come out from the Judgment Day, most likely JD McDumpfuck. But, so he comes in with a chair, and probably has one of the weakest chair shots I've seen since Hogan hit some of his chair shots, and those were bad, brother. Right, Terry Bollea, you fucking guy can't even do a proper chair shot right, brother. He tried to hit me once when he missed. Oh yeah, of course he did, Randy. I didn't miss, brother. Okay, calm down. Anyway, all right, so yeah, so JD tries a chair shot. That ain't gonna work. Oba just, turns around and gives him, oh, you done fucked up now, JD. JD, new name is JD I just fucked up. Pretty much. Dom gets in a quick 619, but gets launched into midair into a power bomb. Damn. And then, looked like Oba was gonna fall from grace, but JD pulled out Dom, and they pretty much start heading to the back, and then Oba goes, hey Dom, we know that Rey Mysterio is your daddy, and then we hear Dom go, he's not my dad! He's not! Because I'm his papi! Why is everybody saying Rey is his dad? I'm his papi! For 20-something years! Pendejos! Alright, okay, Eddie, calm down. Sorry. So he says, next week, Dom, I'm going to introduce you to your daddy. Damn. Dom is going to die next week. Hey, Eddie, your son might be coming up to see you. Unless Brock comes out and helps him. I think Dom is going to win. My son is going to win. I have faith in him. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I'm trying to put some faith into Dom, but we'll see. I still think, we'll see. But really, in reality, I think Oba is going to face... I thought it was going to be Oba versus Seth. Nope. We get that. Alright, so I get the whole first segment, 3.25 out of 5 stars. And we're off and running on Monday Night Raw. Alright, then we're going to look back at Braun Breaker. Well, he accidentally speared, his wise man, Paul Heyman, last week. And, well, Paul is back in the States, pretty much a vegetable right now. Broken ribs and everything, Wall is down, We haven't heard anything from PETA yet. they killed the walrus, basically. Anyway, so, we get that. And then that leads to Seth freaking Rollins. He's in the back. So, I thought he was with, Montez, but this is after. So Seth talks about how the last time he was in Paris, he was the World Heavyweight Champion. But now it's about the King of the Ring tournament, getting back the title that he never really lost, technically. He says, somewhere down the line, I have a date with the Tribal Chief, put up your ones, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. And Seth says, I am ready for him. Well, that's what we thought was going to happen at SummerSlam, but oh boy, did Hunter throw us a curveball. And a good one, too. Where we get that. Alright, after that, we go to the Queen of the Ring first round Fatal 4-Way match. We got The Man, Becky Lynch. We have Ms. Bliss, Alexa Bliss. We have Madam President, Chelsea Green. And the Raw Women's Champion. And that's Liv Morgan came out by herself. And she's always, trouble, trouble, that's me. Cherry lips and whatever the rest of her lyrics are. I love her theme. Her theme is so amazing. I love you, Liv. And it was her birthday yesterday, so happy birthday to Liv. Another fine Italian woman. Like the missus. And, we get that. Alright, so this was a pretty good match. Jessica Carr is a referee, so you know she's gonna screw Becky. Well, not really. This time. So we get to the end. Liv goes for Oblivion and gets counted into Twisted Bliss by Lexi for a near fall. Becky makes a save. Hits the manhandle slam on Lexi, but then Chelsea Green, kind of, sort of hits the Unpretty Her, even though it didn't really do much damage, and then Liv just steals the pin. Actually, no, she didn't steal the pin. She rolled up Chelsea Green. 1, 2, 3, so Liv Morgan goes to the semifinals. And she'll face the winner of the SmackDown match that has Jade, Charlotte, I forget the other two. But that match, that's going to be on Friday Night SmackDown this Friday night. So whoever wins that will face Liv Morgan in the semis. And I could probably see Charlotte Flair winning that. But then again, Hunter could throw another curveball. The unpredictability of this tournament right now. Insane. And on the other side, we know EO is going to be taking on Raquel Rodriguez in the semifinals. So we got that. But congrats to Liv. We'll see what happens in the semis and who she faces, and that's that. Moving on. Alright, then we get a video for Hey Mysterio, Booyaka Booyaka. That pendejo. And it's time in WWE. He's ready to win the Intercontinental title against Pentagon Zero Miedo. Then we hear from Pentagon, who says that he watched Ray for years, now it's his time. And Pentagon says, Ray, it's an honor to face you later. We'll get that. So that's going to be a banger. And they haven't fought since Lucha Underground, mind you. Years ago. I think season 1 maybe even further than that. I don't know the actual season. I think it was season 1 or season 3 or 4. But we got that. Alright, speaking of Pentagon, he's getting ready for his match with Ray. Chad Gable! He comes in and apologizes to Pentagon for everything he did as a Grande Americano, the OG version. And the whole thing started because he lost the Pentagon when Pentagon debuted in WWE. His Pentagon's first win was against Chad Gable. And Gable says, I took the loss like a coward, and I don't expect your sympathy. I don't expect you to, accept my apology, but I apologize anyway. The fans like, yay! So Pentagon's like, okay. I know it wasn't easy for you to say that, but I respect you, Chad. And there's one person that you really need to apologize to. And Gabe was like, yep. You know what that is? Rey Mysterio. Basically, Triple R GM, basically. And, you know, one of the legendary luchadors, you know, he should really apologize to Eddie, too, but, you know. I accept this apology anyway, if he didn't even tell me anyway. Okay. See, Chad? Eddie Guerrero accepts your apology even if you don't give him one. Because Eddie's a forgiving man. Right, Eddie? Sometimes. Okay. Sometimes. We move on with that. Alright, Montez Ford's in the back. Talks to Seth freaking Rollins. Seems like they're all friendly now. Thanks for the help last week against, you know, with Braun Breaker and Austin Theory. Seth got the win in their rematch. And then the Usos and Jacob Fatu, I mean. So Jimmy, Jay, and Jacob, the three J's, they come in. Jay warns Seth about how he should be speaking about the family, and especially about our tribal chief, Roman Reigns. So we know Jay's in the King of the Ring tournament. That match is on Friday with Eli Drake, and two other guys. Finn Balor's in that too. So Jay says, I'm in the King of the Ring with Seth. So it's Jay, Eli, Seth, and Finn. That match is going to be crazy on SmackDown. But Seth says, Jimmy is on the sidelines where Roman wants him to be. Uh-oh. And then he's like, I'm not talking about your family because, you know, I'm only talking about Roman. I'm not talking about you two or even Jacob. And he's like, I thought you guys were better than this, you know, but you're just Roman's errand boys. Oh, really, dude? Really, Seth? Come on now. So Jay tells Jacob, get him! So Jacob's like, you know, Jacob was like pacing back and forth, like, do you have to go to the bathroom there, Jacob? What's going on here? I mean, do you have a hot date? You know, you have a big steak dinner coming up? I don't know. But anyway, not to be disrespectful to Jacob, because he's, you know, friend of the channel, friend of Issa's too, so we get that. Then he gets in Seth's face, and I'm like, oh, can we see Seth and Jacob one-on-one, please? Please, Hunter, sign it. Sign me up. I take my money. And then Jacob just like walks away. And then Rollins says, family, right. And then the Usos leave. I'm like, uh-oh. There might be some trouble, you know, with the bloodline. And I don't think Roman called out to play the Jacob, you know. He gave the play, basically the Usos, who gave the play to Roman. The Jacob. And Jacob's like, I'm not doing it. And then Jacob later, he's arguing with Jimmy and Jay. And Jacob's like, I don't take orders from you. I don't acknowledge you two. I acknowledge Roman. I'm like, oh, okay. Alright. I don't know how Roman's gonna take that next week, because it wasn't on this week, which kind of sucked. But he'll be back next week on Raw from Baltimore. That's Otaku country, by the way. Big ups to Otaku. Moving on with that. Let me move on. That's that. Michael Cole pointed out that last week Jacob said he follows Roman, not the Usos. Good catch there, Cole. See, that's such a fart knocker. But I digress. Alright, moving on with that. Alright, then we got a video for the Women's Intercontinental title match coming up between the resident Surfer Girl and the new Women's Intercontinental Champion, Sol Ruka, as she's taking on the resident Bird Lady, and that's the lassie bitch from Ireland, Layla Valkyria. Alright, so we see Sol, you know, which was set up in a quick backstage challenge last week, so we got that. And then, Lyra's getting ready, and then Bayley, give me a hug, comes out of nowhere and scares the living shit out of Lyra. I'm like, I don't know if you want to do that before a match. You're like, shit! Wrong with you? Wrong with you? What's with you, man? Okay, Lord Helmet, calm down. She gives great helmet. Okay. Yeah, my girlfriend does that too, but I digress. Anyway, so Bayley gives Lyra a pep talk, but Lyra doesn't want, doesn't like, Why are you here? I don't need you. I'm gonna do this by myself. Okay. So we get to the match, which was decent. It wasn't great. But we get to the end, and I like the sequence where, Lyra got her hands out to block an X Factor attempt, and then Soul, Soul hit a, I think Soul flipped out of something. I forgot what it was. And then Soul goes to the Soul Snatcher, and Lyra blocked that. She goes for a charge in the corner, missed, and then got her foot caught in the rope, and then eventually she got it out, but was too late as Soul Ruka hits the Soul Snatcher. She snatched her soul. 1, 2, 3, and still your women's Intercontinental Champion Soul Ruka. You didn't think she was going to lose in her first offense, did you? But anyway, 10-minute match. Soul gets to win. I do see a rematch with her and Becky down the line, but we'll see what happens with that. And we move on. That's that. Alright, then we're going to look at Jacob acknowledging Roman last week. So if you missed it, get it again. And then, like I said, we get the segment where Jay yells at Jacob for not, running the play. And Jimmy's like, hey, Roman gave us a play. You run it. That's it. What's wrong with you? Blah, 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 blah. So Jacob makes it clear, I don't acknowledge the two of you. I acknowledge Roman. And he's like, you need to worry about Eli Drake, especially Jay, because he's in the King of the Ring match on Friday, who has been told to stop talking about the family. He's probably going to be doing it again, and your food is ready, by the way. He's probably doing it again right here, right now, and you guys are just standing there doing nothing. So then, Jacob finally leaves, and Jimmy's like, group text! Oh, Roman ain't gonna like that group text. So I was like, the fuck? Slammed down his phone. Whatever, but, yeah. So, Jay leaves, he goes to the ring, we'll talk to him in a minute. Jimmy doesn't even look. So Jimmy's like, Jay's like, leaving. Alright, get that. Alright, Eli Drake. He comes out, yeah. And then, the stupid, the guy at ringside gives you the mic and everything. He throws the mic to Eli, who dropped it. And the face's like, ooh, boo, boo this guy. And then Michael goes like, oh, whatever his last name was. I don't know what his name was, but, oh, that guy should be fired for that. No, Eli dropped it. It was a good throw, and Eli dropped it. Like the New York Giants or the Jets when they can't catch an easy fucking pass. You know why? Because the Giants get suck. You wouldn't see like George Kittle doing that. Maybe once in a while, but not every time. Juwan Jennings, not all the time. Hopefully we don't get that this year from Mike Evans and Pearsall and Kittle, maybe even Mr. McCaffrey and any of the other wide receivers we have. I'm just saying, if Brock Purdy throws you a dime, like on the spot, perfect spiral, and you just dude, you should be on the bench for that shit. And if it's a big play in a big game, we need that catch. You're gonna hear it from me on your social media. Like, how can you fucking drop the ball? So Eli dropped the mic. Fans are pissed off with the guy that threw him the mic. Then he throws it back again. This time Eli caught it. Hey, you dropped it like Aaron Judge dropped that fly ball in the World Series. Ooh! Right in the nuts, Yankee fans. In the nuts, you deserve it. Because Aaron Judge, he probably forgot to inject his ass full of steroids and forgot to catch the ball. That's why he missed it. Because he forgot to inject his ass full of steroids. So, fuck you, Yankee fans. Or, as we say, fuck the Yankees, Baba. Fuck him in the ass and make him humble. It's a Met town. Just want to put that up. Alright, so Eli comes out, finally gets the mic. He's ready for the King of the Ring match on SmackDown. He's ready to go through all 4 of them. That means going through yourself. But he's thinking about Roman. You shouldn't be thinking about Roman. You should be thinking about the match there, Eli. Just saying. And the truth is that Roman's empire is crumbling. Right. Okay, Eli, now you're acting crazy. And, you know, then he's got to worry about somebody coming out to ruin the match, like Jimmy or maybe Jacob, or somebody else coming out to ruin the fucking match. You know, blah blah blah. And he thinks like it's a conspiracy with Adam Pearce, you know, catering to the bloodline, especially Roman. Blah blah blah. So I mean, he's complaining and bitching and complaining and bitching and complaining. I'm like, shut up, Eli. We put on NXT. So we get that, and, you know, he's bitching. I'm like, shut up, Eli. And then Jay comes out, gets in the ring, and he finally brought this run it back thing with his entrance, yeet. And he gets on the mic, and he's like, I told you not to talk about my family. I'm gonna win this thing, blah, blah, blah. And then he's like, that was a warning shot. BAM! So is Jay gonna win on Friday? I don't know. Actually, Seth's not in the match, so I got that. But Seth's in the main event last night. So it's Jay, Eli, Finn, and I forget the last guy, but it is what it is. We move on. Alright, so we got all that. And a whole lot of blah blah. Alright, Chad Gable comes up to Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio. He apologizes to Dragon Lee, says that he knows that Chad has learned and it's okay. Rey says that Chad needs to stop beating himself up. Rey didn't want to knock Gable's head off his shoulders at one point. Gable's like, fair enough. But they say the mask versus mask match. Blah, 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 blah. Chad has apologized enough. Rey accepts the apology. Chad goes to leave, but Rey says, hey, you might have said and done some really fucked up shit that you're gonna regret before you ever put the mask on. And then Gable's like, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have put the mask on. Exactly. So we get that. Alright, then we get to Pentagon and Rey for the Intercontinental title. This was a great match, stupid ending. And your food is ready. As NXT's just starting, and who's coming out first? Who is this? Oh, we got Mr. NXT pageant coming up. Oh, Fraxium's in the back at NXT tonight. Forget who they taking on. Alright, former NXT Tag Team Champions Fraxium are in the ring. Okay. Let me get that. Alright, so, Pentagon wins after Rey tried a frog splash. I don't understand why he did that. He cannot do it better than me. And this is what happens. He missed. Because of fucking Mendale. Exactly, Eddie. Thank you. So, alright, so Pentagon got his knees up. Hits the Mexican Destroyer. 1, 2, 3 in exactly 13 minutes. Pentagon still your reigning defending Intercontinental Champion. And then after the match, Alexander Rusev smashed the CJ Penny pussy. Yeah. And all ego to the post. Ethan Page, they come out basically for a beatdown. And Rusev locks in the accolade. And then Dragon Lee comes out for the save. Rusev knocks him down. And then he rips off the mask of Rey Mysterio. Uh-oh. And Pentagon's like, no, we don't need to see Rey's face. No, we know what Rey looks like without the mask. I think we all know what he looks like. Oh, we're gonna protect the mask. And Corey Graves like, this is disrespectful. And you're supposed to be a heel commentary there, Corey. I would have been like, this is great. I can't believe he didn't do this before. Anyway, so Chad Gable comes out for the save. Bunch of German suplexes. So he clears the ring of Rusev and Old Ego Ethan Page, and then he holds up Ray's mask, and then he's like staring at the mask. I'm like, uh-oh, what are you staring at? You thinking of putting it on? Then he hands it to Pentagon, who, thankfully gave it to Ray, who, like, right behind, underneath the towel, puts it back on, and then all three guys hold up their hands, and they celebrate, blah, 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 blah. This could have got really bad. Chad's like, oh, I'm face again? No, I'm gonna put the mask on. I'm gonna beat the fuck out of Rey Mysterio. And everybody else in the ring. But, yeah, not gonna get it, because Chad's on his apology tour. Hopefully Hunter don't fuck it up, but we got that. Alright, then we hear from Raquel Rodriguez. She's ready for EO! We get that. We get a video of the European tour, and then we hear from EO, my third wife, EO, talks about my first wife, Asuka. Nobody is ready for Asuka! My dick is. We're getting it in a lot. Almost more than my actual girlfriend, but I digress. So EO talks about Asuka trusting her with the women's division, and EO's ready to face Raquel next week. We get that. Moving on. Alright, then we didn't see her last week, but we see Roxanne Perez. She apologized to Liv for her attitude last week. Kind of getting pissed off since, losing last week in the King of the Ring tournament. She was upset about her loss, and all that matters is the Judgment Day winning. And then Dominic Guerrero, and JD McDumpfuck come in. Dom's not so sure about Oba. And then Liv has an idea. I wonder what the idea might be. Could it be Brock? So they all leave, and then Roxanne's like, not impressed with Skywalker. Not impressed, that puny move. Ha! I'm the Emperor. No, he wouldn't say it like that, though. He would say, strike me down, Skywalker, and your ascent to the dark side will be complete. Don't mess with the Emperor. He will fuck you up. I'm not talking about Palpatine. I'm talking about the actual Emperor from Star Wars. He will fuck you up. Now, young Skywalker, you will die. You almost did kill him if it wasn't for Vader basically sacrificing himself for his son. Luke, I am your father. No! I am your father. And your sister, I am her father too. I was surprised that Leia didn't find... Leia, I think, found out... Well, she found out in pretty much Star Wars 1. I know you're my father, but I'm not gonna tell you or tell anybody until Jedi. What was it, Empire? I think she found out in Empire Strikes Back about that Vader was her dad. I think I gotta watch Empire Strikes Back again, but it is what it is. Blah 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 blah. We get that. All right, NXT's on the air. Fraction was taking on Romeo Moreno, the painter from Spain, and Noam Dar. Interesting little tag team match. Looks like it's pretty damn good so far. We saw Romeo last week against Lexus King in the Speed Tournament Finals and came this close to winning it. But Lexus, thanks to birthmark, still the Speed Champion. Now, I'm going to see who his next challenger is. I don't know who it is. Damn. Romeo Moreno going crazy. He's bouncy. That boy is bouncy. Not like Javon, but how do you say bouncy in Spanish? El bouncy. I don't know. What? How do you say it? Bounce? Oh, it is bouncy. Okay. No, it's not that, but I forgot. I can't even pronounce it, so. See, I don't know that much Spanish. I'm trying to learn from her, but, I don't learn it from Taco Bell or Beavis and Butthead. I am Cornholio. I am a gringo. I have no bunghole. I come from Lady Gaga. I watch too much TV. I'm sorry. Anyway, we get to the main event of Raw. King of the Ring first round match. Javon Bouncy Javon Evans, Seth freaking Rollins, Coolio, and Absolute Ricky Starks. They go at it. Fatal 4-way match. The winner, well, goes to the next round and faces the winner of the SmackDown match. So, very good match. But we get near the end, and out of nowhere, freaking, how did Javon win this match? How? You know, Seth hits the stomp. Austin Theory comes out, pulls the referee out. Montez Ford cuts that off, and then Braun Breaker runs in, spears the crap out of Seth. So we're getting a third match with that. I thought the whole thing with a Vision and Seth was done. Nope. And then Ricky tries to go for the pin, and then out of nowhere, freaking Javon hits the OG Gilly Cutter! Bang! 1, 2, 3, Javon going to the semis? What? I did not have that on my scorecard. So, Hunter threw that curveball. So, we could see Javon going to the finals. I would like to see Oba and Javon run it back from NXT. I mean, Javon has never beat Oba. Can he beat Oba in the finals? Maybe thanks to Brock. Can we see Javon and Roman at SummerSlam? Huh? That makes no sense. I mean, it kind of does, but Roman and Javon? Nah. I think we could see Roman and Jay. If Jay wins on Friday and he beats Javon in the semis, we could see Jay and Oba. But, I mean, I still think Oba has a good chance now to win the tournament. But, I mean, you could throw in Dom. I could see it. I mean, Dom and Roman. I mean, you gotta have a heel. Semi-heel. We can't, I mean, Roman's technically a face. Technically. So you gotta have a heel. So, I mean, if you put Oba and Roman, it's like basically face versus mid-face. Or whatever. Or two faces going at it. You put Roman and Dom. We know Dom is gonna get annihilated. Even with Judgment Day's help, or, you know, JD McDumpfuck's help, and maybe Liv and maybe Raquel and Roxanne. Not gonna do much. But I don't think we can see that. Roman and Seth, I wanted to happen. We all thought it was going to happen. Nope, Seth's gone now. So, could it be Roman and Finn? That could be. If Finn wins, you know, kind of a rematch from like two or 3 years ago. Remember that match where Finn, you know, the freaking top rope broke unexpectedly, and Roman somehow just won that match. Where we get that. Roman and Eli, nah, I don't want to see that. Because, you know, no Roman will whip Eli's ass. And Roman and Jay, I mean, we have seen that. Roman won that match, obviously. Barely. But, I mean, we'll have to see what happens. So, I have a feeling that Oba's going to be Dom. Go to the finals. Face, possibly, Javon. Or Jay. Or Finn. Doubtful Eli, but I mean, we'll see. We'll see what Hunter throws us on Friday Night SmackDown. That's pretty much it. And on the other side, I have a feeling Charlotte might win that match on Friday and face Liv. And I think it's going to be Liv and Io. Unless we were totally surprised it's Charlotte and Io. I still think Io is going to win Queen of the Ring, face Liv at SummerSlam, win the title, and Judgment Day go, bye! And that's pretty much it. That's how I feel. I think Io will win the Queen of the Ring. King of the Ring's kind of now a toss-up between Oba, possibly Javon, possibly Jay, possibly Finn. Who knows? I'm going to go with my original thought, which was Oba. But now it's like, I'm like 25% positive that Oba might win. I'm having like Steiner math in my head now. You know, my 33% chance of winning goes with your 66% chance of thinking that somebody else is going to win. And combine that with my 125 overall chance of winning, that gives me 150, whatever it is. Scott, I'm confused as it is. I'll make you bleed. I know, my ears are bleeding thinking about it. Thank you. Oh, that's Steiner math, man. I mean, that was a course in college. I don't think any of us would freaking pass that class. Shit. Here's to you, Scott. Oh, man, this tastes so fucking good. Oh. I gotta thank you for my drink. Gonna take me later in bed? He said it. We're gonna go rounds. I gotta get ready too. I didn't prepare, but I've been tired since physical therapy knocked me the fuck out today. So I came home, I had a little rest, and now I'm doing this video right while I'm watching NXT. She's she's busy in the other room, and then she's gonna make me my dinner, and then we'll have our own dessert, if you know what I mean. Let me move on with that. Alright, so Javon wins the match. Crazy ending. And then he celebrates to end the show. Rollins is pissed. And the replay showed Javon giving Ricky a shove on the way back into the ring. That might be something to look at. It's still down the count. Gave Ricky time to get in position for the OG cutter. Kind of smart by Javon. Because he's smart. We get that. Alright, we got dueling on NXT. Romeo and Noam Dar have stereo ankle locks on Fraxium. And referee Vicky is like, I don't know, what's going on here? Well, Romeo gets sent to the apron. Dar got pushed off. Romeo comes back in. Insecurity kick to Noam Dar. Romeo picks up A-Kid. A-Kid reversed that. Throws him into the corner. Romeo with a kick to the face. He's on top. A-Kid stops that. Tag into Ben Frazier. What are we getting here? Springboard. Well, about to be a springboard, but Romeo pushed him off. And then Ben Frazier again with the superplex. Looked like he was about to hit the Cataclysm. And then Romeo, 1, 2. Oh, shoot. That would have been an epic freaking win there by Romeo. Shocking. And whoops, A-Kid just hit Ben Frazier in the face with a a super kick, not the golden ratio per se, as he had a sleeper in hold on Romeo, and Romeo got out of that. Double team move now, and basically like a flip over slam, almost got the win. Wow, this match is great. How did it not get the win after like a flip over double slam? I don't know that. And then pretty much A-Kid got, kicked Ben Frazier's face off. And then he hit that double team move. And I'm like, how did you not win? Alright, so still got another double team move. Romeo, kind of springboard into a super kick on the outside by Fraxium. And then Noam Dar is on the inside. He got the tag. And then he's basically fighting off Fraxium. Basically 2-on-1. That ain't gonna work. Alright, A-Kid up top with Noam Dar about to hit the super Spanish fly. He hit it perfectly. Joel Maximo is, very happy man. That's my mentor, by the way. And then tag in Ben Frazier, who tags back into Fraxium. Golden ratio by A-Kid. Frazier on the top. Phoenix splash. They got him. Count ref. 1, 2, and 3. There you go. Fraxium get a win in a pretty good match to start off NXT with Romeo Molino and Noam Dar. This was a great start to NXT. Loved it. Alright, back to Raw, and I'm going to end this video right now. Raw was mid, pretty mid. I gave it 6.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show down below in the comment section. Electric, what do we say? Let's talk about it. That's that. Alright, going to finish off NXT. We'll talk about AEW Dynamite Collision after Dynamite tonight, and we'll talk about NXT tomorrow. And that's pretty much it to finish off pretty much the second week of June as we get to the midpoint of June. And we're about 3 weeks away from the end of the first half of The Price is Right. I mean, the first half of 2026, and we're going to start the second half on July 1st. Alright, Code of Honor, you love to see that between both guys. And then Rafael Moreno and Noam Dar hugging each other. And I think Noam Dar was kind of impressed with Romeo's performance. I kind of liked it too. I think Romeo has a great future in NXT. Alright, now we got Kendall Gray and my girl Maddie Lankowski in the back, in the women's locker room. Kendall's got that #1 contenders match tonight with Mrs. Him, and that's Jada. That's Lonnie, Kaylani Jordan. So Maddie's like, I gotta defend my title, but I got a bum knee. And there's gonna be a women's speed tournament happening, I think next week. So she's kind of working on trying to get back and defending her title. And then the NXT Women's Champion, Luna Vaisese, looking great as always, talking to Kendall. She's like, I'm sorry I hit you last week. You know, Lonnie pushed me into you and I just accidentally smacked you right in the face. And then basically Kendall's like, well, I'll deal with you in the parking lot. No, she didn't say that. Imagine, it can happen. We haven't seen a parking lot brawl in like a few months. Except for AEW, don't count, but whatever. I'm talking about NXT and Raw and SmackDown. So anyway, Kendall says, I'm going to deal with Lonnie, and then after I'm done with her, I'm going to deal with you at the Great American Bash. But I still think we're going to get a 3-way dance. That's pretty much it. Alright guys, I am out of here. Thanks for watching. Until next time. Peace.